What's up, guys? Mr. Edwards back with another geocaching vlog. Just kidding, I've never actually made any geocaching videos before, but I thought just for you, instead of doing a typical Zoom session where we sit in a boring office and talk about nothing for an hour, I should take you on an adventure and show you some of the best geocaching finds that I've been to and see if we can find some more. I'm going to tell you all about the activity, the hobby, and hopefully you will take it to make it one of your hobbies as well. Next week, what we're going to do is we're going to make our own mini geocaches and put them in the back of the field at school and have the other classes find them. But I forgot that there's only 3 classes left, so instead of taking you to the little geocache across the street in the cemetery to school, we're going to do this instead. So before we get started, let me share with you a couple things first. Now, geocaching is an entirely free hobby. You can use the geocaching app to help find local geocaches that could be even in your backyard. But I'm going to show you what I bring as a geocaching enthusiast. So this is my geocaching hat. Don't leave the house without it, unless I'm geocaching, that is. Well, if I am geocaching, then I'm definitely not going to leave it at the house. I look like a spaz, and everyone's staring at me at the park here, but I think it's hilarious, and I like to geocache in it. Now, I'm wearing jeans. I've made the mistake with going with shorts geocaching before, but a lot of the times we're out digging through the bushes, and it can get a little nasty. So long pants, probably the best. I've also got my boots on. I've been in some muddy spots, okay? You don't want to get stuck like that. All right, now, this is my designated geocaching bag. It's got my whole kit in it. I'm gonna show you what I bring. All right, here we go. So, first off, in here are all my toys. But they're actually toys, but these are my little goodies that in some geocaches, they contain enough space for people to swap different items and things. The general rule is you want to put in something of equal value that you're going to take. So I've got some little fake hands that go on your fingers, some trick dice, all these little mini food things. The first geocache that we're going to hit, I know exactly where it is because I've been there before, and there is a lot of stuff in there, so we're going to take a look at what they've got. All right, what else do I got in here? Well, sometimes you're out geocaching, it's getting fun, it's getting late, so what you're going to need, oh, I hope I brought it. Oh, it's in this one. You're going to need a flashlight, okay? We're out in the woods. It could get dark. One time I was geocaching. I left at my house at like 8:30. I didn't get back till like 10. I was out digging through the woods, no light. It was miserable. So flashlight is a must. Now, at every geocache, there's going to be a paper where you can sign your name and show that you've been there. And it goes back, you know, as long as the geocache has been there, everybody's name. Hopefully on this first one, I'll see my name the first time I came to it. So you're going to need some pens. Some geocaches have a pencil or a pen in them, but you definitely want to mark that you actually found it and made history and put your name on that geocache. So having a pen is a must. My go-to pen, I've got this special orange one. That's my calling card, okay? I write my name in an orange pen, but just in case I lose it, I've got some backups as well. All right, what else do I got in here? Well, now a lot of geocaches, you know, they could be in your town, just on the street, but some of them, they're a bit of a hike. So we've got some extra water, okay? We are taking a hike, so you don't want to leave the house without water. And I mean, that's pretty much it. Something else you might want to consider, sunscreen, but mostly bug spray. The last time I was here, we could not even find a certain geocache because there were so many bugs. So it's a nice day out. It's a little windy, but let's go take a look at our first geocache. Come on, let's go. Before we get started, let me show you the geocaching app. Now, you don't need this to find geocaches, but how are you going to find them unless there's some sort of guide? Now, how they used to do it is, on the early days of the internet, there was just a literal list of GPS locations that you'd have to go and find. But now they've got the geocaching app, nice interface. It integrates Google Maps, so you can pick out the ones in your location and spot them and go to the ones. So here we go. Here's the geocaching app. The blue dot is where I'm at, and we're here at the Columbus Park in Richmond. And we're gonna hit up this geocache right here in the woods. Each geocache has a name, a difficulty rating, how difficult the terrain is, and how big the geocache itself is. Some of them can be very small, microscopic in size. So this one's a regular size. It was last found in December. Now that's an important thing to take into account when you're finding geocaches, is when was it found, because a lot of geocaches, they can go missing. Some of them could get buried. You know, people don't know these things are here, so they can even get stolen. Like I talked about before, if someone doesn't know what a geocache is, they find one accidentally, they're gonna take it. So this one, I know exactly where it is, and we're gonna go check it out. Now, this interesting thing here is the trackables, okay? That means certain items inside of the geocache are linked with a code that if you find them, you can integrate on the app and say, I have this item with me, and then it's your job to try and get that item as far away from that geocache as you can, and then put it back into a geocache. Some of these trackable items, you know, they find their way across the entire world. Geocaching is not just an American thing. They do it everywhere in the planet. So we're gonna go find Thanks Team Namthaw. I can't even say that. 6 people like it, which is not that much, but for this kind of rural area that we're in, 6 favorites, that's a pretty good geocache. So come on, let's go. Looking for a bit down the trail. Now this one's a little bit off the beaten path, okay? So we're gonna head into the woods here. It's just a little bit more ahead, and let's see if it's even still there. Whoa, he almost got me. Go ahead, open it up, cameraman, and add your initials. What's wrong? What's wrong? Go ahead, open it up.
How do you open it?
Are you struggling? Oh, he got it. He got it after all.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so we're looking at the logbook. Let's go back to the beginning. Here it is. The very first log is all the way in 2013. So that was over, what, 9 years ago? I was here, I don't even remember the last time. It was within a year. Let's see if we can find my orange writing. It took me a while to find it, but there I am, CIBG. Those were the initials of me and my friends that I came here with. I was here in August of last year. So since, you know, I've been here before, but I'm going to go ahead and write my name in it anyways, and so is the cameraman. So I'm going to write just my first name and today's date, which is April 21, 2022. And there it is, my entry into this geocache. All right, now I'm also, you know, I've been eyeing this shark. I kind of like this, whatever this is. Now this is a pretty decent swap, so I'm gonna put a couple items in here to swap it out with. I put a lot of hands and a lot of geocaches in the area, so hopefully somebody's seen them and that realize that's my calling card. So I'm gonna add in a fake hand. You know, these are your little goofy finger things you put on your thing. And what else are we gonna put in? We're gonna put in a couple of these little mini fake food items, and we'll add those in, and somebody can take those, and I'll keep the toy shark. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna head down next. We're gonna stay in this park. There's quite a few geocaches in this park. Now, before we do, before you leave the geocache, it is important to return it exactly the way you found it, to save it for future generations as well as other people that might come to this geocache. So before we go, we're gonna put it just back exactly how we found it, inside this hollowed out tree. You wanna take a look there? It's exactly how I found it. It was down there in that tree stump. So we're next gonna go head to a geocache a little ways away. The last time I was here, it was a DNF, which means a did not find. We couldn't find it. They're pretty tricky. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna see if we can find it. All right, let's go. we just found something even crazier than a geocache out here in the park. In the parking lot, there's a clam. That's not a clam, it's a piece of wood, and the pearl's a stick. All right. Oh, my shoe's untied. Oh, hazards or anything like that. Nice and tight. Let's go. We're getting closer to our next geocache, but let me show you it on the app. So here we just found the last one. We've walked a bit here. There we are. And this is the next one we're going to find. Now, it's a blue sad face because we didn't find it. It's a yellow happy face because we did find the last one. Now, here it is. Let me bring it up. It's called Lend Me a Hand. Little difficult, more harder terrain, all right? It was last found in, what is that, September? Now, when I went, I couldn't find it. I went just 1 month earlier in August, and I even commented it was infested with mosquitoes, mosquito infestation. Now, what's good about the geocaching app, it actually shows your location, and the only way you know that you're getting close to a geocache is your dot will be right on top of it when you're in the area. But then you just gotta search and use those eyes. It's almost like a little I Spy game. So let's go ahead, let's go find it. It's important to stay hydrated, kids. Got the location. It's a little bit off the path there. The description, it's called Lend Me a Hand. There was a sign on a tree over there. We thought maybe it was high up like that, and you had to, lend me a hand to get up there. But no, we think it's inside this tree, and there's lots of sticker bushes, but this area is way more, even with the sticker bushes, it's way nicer than the last time I was here. So we're gonna take a look here. Ow, oh, ow, ah. It's supposed to be somewhere inside this tree. Lots of places they like to hide them in different cracks and things like that. There's a little hole right here. No, not there. We're pretty sure, based on the map, it is somewhere on this fallen tree. So we're gonna spend some time looking, and then we'll get back to you when we find it. Now, we're having some trouble finding it, and these sticker bushes are really starting to aggravate us. Now, each geocache on the app has a description. It's your only hint on how to find it other than the map location. And this one being called Lend Me a Hand, it says it's in the Halloween series of geocaches. So that makes me think it's gonna be like in a fake plastic hand. I've seen geocaches like that before. And there's also a button for hint. If you get stuck, you can't find it, you can look at the hint. This hint, since we're stuck, it says it's literally inside of a fallen tree. So we've been looking at these fallen trees, and we're just not finding it. So this might not be our day, but that's okay. Geocaching is part of the adventure, getting outside, having fun, and getting a little nature, doing a little exploring, a little I Spy. And just getting off the regular path, it's okay if you don't find it, but I think this one, it's a DNF, did not find, and it will remain that way, at least for now. All right, we're gonna try one more at this park here. You can check it out here on the map. This was the one that we just didn't find. There we are here, and the last one in the park is called Dare Ye Open the Treasure Box. Now, escape rooms are similar to geocaching because a lot of them have certain themes. This one might be pirate themed. It's got a 2.0 difficulty, 2.5 terrain, and it's small. Now, it hasn't been found in over a year, so it perhaps has been moved or has been lost, but we're going to try and find it. Now, what I want to show you here it is, and there we are. It looks like a far away, but if you look here, this big grassy patch is this field right here. So you'll actually want to use the map as sort of a guide to how to find it. So obviously, when we're looking across the field like this, we're gonna have to walk, a ways across, and then we're gonna go into the woods a little bit and probably walk through some more sticker bushes. All right. I said that we're gonna go to the next one, but they are still committed to finding that hand one. They are checking every fallen tree in the forest. I think they're very determined, but I think they're going to fail. So I'm here at the location of Ye Olde Pirate Treasure, but you know, again, having trouble finding it. Doing a lot of looking, you know, under. Let me show you. You know, a lot of these fallen trees in the area, some stumps, places that they like to be hidden, you know, under crevices like this. Generally, it shouldn't be too hard to find, not buried, you know, in the dirt like an actual pirate's treasure. Somewhere where you can be able to see it, spot it with your eyes without, you know, trying too hard. You know, places like this, like in between little tree nooks and stuff, are often where they're hid. But, you know, it's getting late in the day. I still want to go to a couple more geocaching spots, so I don't want to spend too long looking for just one. So probably get some McDonald's or something. That's my favorite. And we'll go hit a couple more. A little less in the woods, a little bit more in town. Let's go. What you got there, Mr. Tony?
Staffs of incredible magical power.
They look like sticks.
Staffs of incredible magic power.
At our next location, and this one's a little unconventional, as you can see. We're in a cemetery, just like the one across the school. It's a hotspot for geocaches because it's public property and you can go here whenever you want to try and find them. Lots of geocaches are in parks or parking lots or even cemeteries, but it's important to know that when you come here, you need to do it respectfully and not to face any of the area. So we did find this next one. Come take a look. Now, I have been to this location before, and it used to be like I said, a plastic fake hand in the bushes, but it seems that it was in need of maintenance, and then they replaced it. But here is the new geocache. A simple prescription bottle, and inside is only the logbook, the list of names. Now, like I said, geocaches can come in all sorts of different containers. This one, it's watertight. It keeps moisture out, and it's suitable as a geocache, but not that interesting as our first one. But we'll make sure we write our names on it, and let's keep on rolling. So we're at this church parking lot for our next cache, and this one's actually a great example of a very common type of geocache. Now, I've explained it before in class, but maybe some of you didn't hear it. Before I show you the cache, there's an important rule when you geocache in, you know, a local area like this with lots of people around. You gotta be sneaky, okay? Now, I'm definitely not being sneaky right now, but you want to make sure that if somebody's watching you do the geocaching, that they don't see you go and get it, but all they see is you just pulling something out, doing something with pens, and then putting it back. They might think it's kind of sketchy, or they might follow where you went after and then see what that was, not know it was a geocache, and steal it. So this next cache is a very common type. They're these lamppost ones. Now, what most people don't know is this bottom box here actually can slide up on most lampposts, and there's our geocache. So let's take a look at what's inside. I've been to this one as well. I think actually this is my dice that I put in here from my dice collection. It's got all fives on it. We've got a literal light bulb, a soda tab, and a quarter. And there is the logbook inside. Let's take a look at the oldest date on there. So we're taking a look at the logbook, 7/14, and I don't see me on here. Maybe I'm on the other one. No, that one's all got wet, so we'll leave it at that. let's go head to our next cache. So we're on our way to our last geocache of the night. Little funny side story. When we left that last one in the lamppost, we turned around and there was a cop sitting there. Probably looked like we were doing sketchy stuff. He didn't pull us over or anything like that, but we got out of there pretty quick. We're on our way to our last geocache. It's about 20 minutes away. It is a different kind of cache. It's a little bit more of an activity-based one, and it's what's called a multi-cache, where the first location is actually just going to lead us to the next location and lead us to the next location. It's a 3-stage cache, so we're gonna go check it out. I have not been to this one before. I really hope we can find it though. I'm crossing my fingers that we get at least one new one today. All right, stay tuned. We'll be there in a bit. We're at our final geocache of the day. The sun's going down. It's getting a little cold, but we're ready to do this. It's right off this main road here, right into the trees a bit. There's some abandoned farm equipment and stuff here. And we've got this shed. Now this is the location of where the first spot for the geocache is. The hint is outlet. Let's go check it out. I've never been to a geocache quite like this. It's this abandoned shed. Come on in. And there's all these corn cobs on the ground. The whole floor is a carpet of corn. Well, here's an outlet here. Let's come take a look. I don't see any geocache hidden on it. Maybe there's something written on it. Yeah, I knew it. 987422. Those are coordinates, and I bet they're nearby. We're gonna input them, and then we're gonna show you the next location. The second location is this giant tree. That's where the coordinates spat us out. We think there may be a geocache stage 2 up the big tree, but we're gonna skip stage 2. We're gonna jump straight to stage 3 because we think we know where it is. We're at the last spot, and we think it's inside this giant silo. It's a little dangerous, but geocaching is all about the adventure, so let's crawl inside here. Here, it's overgrown. There goes my hat. I'll take the camera. Whoa! Hello! We're in a silo. It's so weird to look at it from down here. And there it is, the last geocache. Let's just climb up here and put our name on it. It's a peanut butter jar tied to a string. Let me just get there's a little Lego man in here. I think we'll leave him in there. And let's see. And there's the note with the names. We're gonna add our names to that. And we're gonna put it back just how we found it, and that is gonna be it. So, thanks for joining us on this geocaching adventure. I hope that you guys will be able to try out geocaching. There might be one right outside your house, you never even know. Next week, what we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna make little mini geocaches. We're gonna hide them in the back of the school, and then each class is gonna try and find each other. So, I can't wait to see you next week. This is Mr. Edwards' geocaching vlog. Catch you next time.
Tony, any comments?
No, I just live here.